Special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this video possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Scared to here bringing you another Minecraft Modern Warfare BAFTA build tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the S Yūdachi Murasame-Class destroyer. The Murasame-Class destroyer is a class of destroyers serving with the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force. This is the first class of the second generation general-purpose destroyers of the JMSDF. Since FY 1977, the JMSDF started construction of general-purpose destroyers under the 8 ships/8 helicopter concept. In this concept, each flotilla would be composed of 1 helicopter destroyer, 5 general-purpose destroyers, and 2 guided missile destroyers. By FY 1986, construction of 20 first-generation DDs required for all flotillas had been completed. In the original plan, it was supposed to shift to destroyer escorts for local district forces. Afterwards, however, in the use of the first-generation DDs was continued to the full extent of ship's life. The relative performance obsolescence was concerned. Thus, the JMSDF decided to advance the construction of new generation DDs, and this was the first class of the second generation DDs. Except for Kirsami, all ships of the class are named after Imperial Japanese Navy destroyers sunk in World War II. So yeah, this is a pretty cool ship to add to our ever-growing fleet of BAFTA builds. We've done quite a few different nations, but really Japan's only seen one real ship kind of built, and I mean if you can even consider it a ship, being a submarine. This is kind of our first ever Japanese modern / Cold War ship that is actually a surface vessel. So kind of cool to add to our collection because the Japanese do have some pretty cool ships that they're starting to develop, and with more and more restrictions being eased off of them, they're starting to develop some more cool ships to help defend themselves, especially with being neighbors to China and all that stuff. But is a really cool ship nonetheless, and will make an awesome addition for those of you looking for a nice kind of Japanese self-defense or self-defense maritime force. Anyways, though, before we go and take a look at this build, I do want to go and give special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel more than you already do, feel free to check out my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions, where you can pledge a small amount to the channel every month, and in doing so, earn a view request you're choosing. It really helps support the work I do on my channel. Is really greatly appreciated. So definitely feel free to check that out. Again, links will always be in my video description. With that though, let's go and dive in here to take a look at the S Yūdachi, which is part of the Murasame-Class destroyers. So going ahead and start with, we have the front of the ship here, pretty standard bow type ship. We have for a modern ship, we have obviously the deck gun, a missile launching platform right here, and then also obviously a phalanx system type gun. So again, pretty simple and kind of similar to the early Burks. We then have the mass system located right here, right behind the bridge. It's a pretty low profile destroyer as well, compared to that of other modern nations and modern destroyers. As you progress further back, we have our first kind of smokestack here, some lifeboats, basically some anti-ship missiles, missile launchers located in this section. There's also another set of missile tubes right here from models that I was able to find. They're kind of in a reddish color, so I think TNT actually fits pretty good for that design there, so that's pretty cool, works out good. Then we come back, we have our second smokestack, some different details and designs there on the sides there, nothing real too crazy or anything like that, just some minor detailing. And we come back here, we have basically another Sea-Wiz gun and the helicopter deck that's located on the back here, obviously for its deployment and recovery of helicopters. Overall, pretty nice looking ship, and again, we'll make an awesome addition to that Japanese surface fleet for your modern fleets. With that though, let's go move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layers. Alright guys, so going ahead and move into our first layers here. We're going to begin with layers 1 and 2. Now, layer 1 is pretty simple and just kind of an add-on to layer 2, so we're just going to go and knock both out while we're basically building both together. But with that, though, we can pretty much go ahead and dive into it. A few things I would like to mention. First off is that for the first few layers here, probably layers 1 through 3, we're going to be going ahead and doing half on, half off. This means I'm going to be building the entire center line of the ship, and then the right side, then it'll be up to you guys to take the right side, copy it over to the left side. Once we get into the kind of superstructure in the upper deck sections, we do start to see a little bit of differences on the two sides and a little bit of asymmetry, so we're going to go and basically cover those layers all together. With that out of the way though, let's go ahead and get started with our first layer here, layer number 1. First thing I do want to go ahead and mention here is that you do want to position this correctly in the water. Taking some blue concrete, I'll mark out where that's going to start. So you can see here we have layer 2 here. This is going to basically start right at the water level. So you can see the blue concrete here representing our water level, and it's going to sit directly even with those blocks. So pretty simple there, nothing too crazy. That right there is pretty much that. And you know, go ahead and place down a red concrete block there for your starting point. Now this red concrete block is going to go ahead and turn into a row of 23 blocks in total. So we have 23 red concrete blocks running down our center. We're going to place down a brick wall here on the front, and then we're going to place down a red stained glass pane coming off that brick wall like so. We then want to go ahead and go beneath the brick wall, or beneath the red stained glass pane. If you're on Java, we're going to place down a piston. If you're not on Java, we'll place down a polished black stone top slab, and we're going to go and wrap dark oak with signs around the 3 sides here if you have that slab there. The piston here will be modified using a tool that's available only on Java. So again, that's this piston here, which you can see is modified, is going to be done basically only for Java players. Anyways though, for all platforms, we're going to place down a polished black stone top slab back underneath this brick wall, and we're going to place down a dark oak with sign on both sides of that. We're going to place down there a polished black stone slab, leave it as is, and then a acacia wood trapdoor on the end there. After that, we want to go and then grab ourselves a debug stick. So for us Java players, we're going to go and do the slash give space @p space Minecraft :debug _ stick. Pressing enter will give us the stick. By right-clicking the piston, we'll get rid of the bottom there, and you can see it helps form that little bulbous bow on the front there. So just a nice little technique to use. After that though, we want to go and then go to the end of our row of red concrete. We're going to place down 2 brick top slabs and 2 acacia wood trapdoors to go and complete the back there. After that's all done, we want to go and then place down a brick top slab, which will be coming off the 5th red concrete block back. So brick top slab like so. Then the second one, we're going to go and then place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 brick stairs back. On the last 5 brick stairs, we're going to go and place down acacia wood signs. So just like that, the last 5 in that row of 8. Then we're going to continue on with more brick stairs. We're going to go and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brick stairs. Then 1, 2, 3 brick top slabs. On the last 2 top slabs, we're going to place down acacia wood signs. Then an acacia wood fence gate, a end rod, a birchwood slab, and then a brick wall there on the very end. After that's all done, we also want to go ahead and go to our brick stair right after this sign. So this first stair here, we're going to place it on a acacia wood trapdoor there on the bottom, and then a acacia wood sign coming off the side there of that stair, or of that trapdoor like so. And once you have that all done, you're going to take the same thing we did on the right side here, flip it over to the left side, and you'll have basically layers 1 and 2 complete. And with that, we'll be going ahead and move on to our next layer, layer number 3. Alright guys, so moving into our next layer, we'll be going ahead and moving into layer number 3. For layer 3 to begin with, we're going to place down a andesite wall on top of this red stained glass pane. We then want to go ahead and go back from this a total of 14 stone blocks back. So again, from that andesite wall, we have 14. Actually, it's going to be 23. So 23 stone blocks back. I was like, 14 looks a little small for that. But yeah, that's going to be 23 blocks in length from that wall. We're going to go then place down 4 gray wool blocks, a stone block, and then a piston here on the very end for us Java players. If you're not a different version of Minecraft, some stone slabs could work. Those are probably really going to be the only block that's actually going to really work back here. So stone slabs could work, or you could just take andesite walls, wrap it around. You know, one of those options will work. But yeah, piston on the end there for Java. But we're going to then go back up to the front. We're going to place down a row of 1 and 2 light gray stainless panes off the 2nd and 3rd block, like that going back. We then want to go and place down a stone upside down stair, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 stone blocks back, and andesite wall, and then a birchwood sign on the side of that wall, and then a piston on top of this wall right here. After we have that all done, we can go ahead and go to the back here, and on top of these pistons, we're just going to use the same technique we used on the bottom there, which is use our debug stick to right click and basically decrease the height of them like that on the rear. And that right there is going to pretty much cover everything we have there for layer number 3. Pretty simple layer, and here's what it looks like from a top-down view. With that, let's go ahead and move on to our next layer, layer number 4. Moving on to layer number 4, we're going to start off by going ahead and placing down 1 and 2 pistons on top of this wall and on top of this stone block. We're going to go ahead and place down a stone upside down stair coming off this piston here. And then to the sides, we're going to go ahead and place down 2 skeleton skulls. A good alternative to these pistons here would be stone full blocks. Or I would probably place down a stone full block and then a stone slab. So something like that would work. But after that, we're going to go ahead and then place down a stone slab going back. And then we're going to take our debug stick and we're going to go ahead and right click those pistons like so. We then want to place down a skeleton skull at a slight angle on top of these 2 andesite, or those 2 light gray stainless panes, and then one kind of straight on like that on both sides. After that, we want to place down a andesite stair like this, end rod going forward, and then to both sides of the stair, we're going to place down a daylight detector, turn to night mode like so. We then want to place down another dark oak with trapdoor going back from those daylight detectors, and then a daylight detector there in the center, like that. We then want to place down a stone block here, and then a gray carpet to both sides of the stone block. We're going to place down another stone block back, and then a light gray stainless pane to both sides. We're going to go then place down 1, 2, 3 stone blocks back, and 1, 2, 3 andesite walls, 1, 2, 3 like that on the sides. And we just want to go ahead and left click these glass panes, and with our debug stick for us on Java, and we can go ahead and extend these forward like so, using our directional commands and extending them like that. We're going to go then place down 2 stone blocks down the center here, and then we're going to place down birchwood fence gates to the sides here. And we're going to go ahead and open these toward the ship itself, so toward the middle there. We then want to place down another row of 2 stone blocks, and then we're going to place down 2 light gray stainless panes to both sides. We're going to place down 2 stone blocks down the center here again. We're going to go ahead and place down an iron trapdoor to both sides of this right here. And then by going ahead and left clicking our iron trapdoor until we get selected open false pop up, we're going to go and then right click and it should say open to true. And what we're going to do here is it's basically going to sit flat against the side of that stone block. You can use basically any trapdoors as an alternative, dark oak wood that we used in the front, or birchwood. Probably birchwood will look best here with the ship color, but yeah, we can use birchwood trapdoors instead there to get that same effect. We're going to go then place down a light gray stainless pane here to both sides like so. Then a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stone blocks down the center, and then a polished andesite block here on the end. Now on the right side here, on the right side only, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 andesite walls. We're going to then go into our creative menu, grab ourselves some item frames and some white beds here. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3 item frames. In the middle item frame, we're going to place down a white bed on its side, and then a polished andesite block in those item frames to either side. We then want to go ahead and grab ourselves a row of stone brick walls. We're going to place down 1, 2, then 2 andesite walls in our item frame, and our white bed on side like so. After that's done, over here on the other side, we're going to place down 3 andesite walls. And kind of using the same technique here, we're going to place down our 3 item frames, polished andesite block, white bed rotate on its side, and our polished andesite block like that. We're going to go then place down our stone brick walls, so 1, 2, and then our 2 andesite walls here again, so 1, 2, and we're going to go then place down a white bed here on the side of this wall, and a white bed rotate on its side like that. After that, though, we're going to go then place down a wither skeleton skull here, then a birchwood button in the center, as well as a birchwood button on top of this block here. And then taking our white carpet, we're going to place down a row of 3 across, gray carpet here, gray carpet on these 3 stone blocks as well. And with that all out of the way, that right there is going to conclude everything we have there for layer number 4. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving on to our next layer, layer number 5. Again, here is a overview of what it should look like so far. With that, let's move on to layer number 5. Moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 5. For layer 5 to begin with, we're going to go ahead and start off by placing down an end rod on top of this stone block here. We then want to place down a direct wall on top of this stone block here. Then we're going to place down a placeholder block for us on Java. And actually, first off to begin with, we're going to go ahead and place down a stone block here on top of this, and then a stone upside down stair to both sides here. Now on Java here we can do some modifications to this wall. That's going to be going ahead selecting the direction that the wall's facing. So you might take some kind of messing around here with this, but by left clicking we'll finally find the side that the direction our wall faces, and we can go and right click it until it does not connect to that stone block anymore using our debug stick. We can then place down a block on top of this stair here, a tripwire hook on the side of that block, and using our debug stick here, we'll go ahead and left click it until we get selected facing, and we can go and then right click the tripwire hook until it rotates around and connects to that wall like so. And that'll kind of form our phalanx type system there located on the front, which is a nice little design there for it. Then going back from this, we're going to then place down 1, 2, 3 stone blocks, and then we're going to then place down 1, 2 iron trapdoors to both sides and birchwood signs coming off those trapdoors like so. After that, we want to go and then place down a end rod to both sides on top of those walls. After that, we're going to go and then place down a stone brick slab here in the center, another stone block right here, and we're going to then place down a white bed on top of these birchwood fence gates to both sides. After that's all done, we want to go and then place down a stone brick slab here, a birchwood fence gate, and then a skeleton skull that's going to go up from the fence gate like so. So like this. And we're going to do the same thing but facing the opposite direction. Stone brick slab, birchwood fence gate, and a skeleton skull like that. After that, we're going to go then place down 1 and 2 TNT blocks, iron trapdoors on the sides here, those TNT blocks. And we're going to go and right click them like that to close them. And we also want to go and place down a light gray stainless pane going up from them like so. We're going to then place down 2 stone blocks down the center here. Then 2 andesite walls over here on the the right side of the ship. We're going to place down item frames on the side of those walls and then polished andesite blocks in those item frames. On the left side here, it's going to be 1 andesite wall, an item frame, and a polished andesite block. And then it's going to be a gray carpet here on that wall. After that, we're going to place down a stone stair right there, followed by a skeleton skull on top of these 2 walls. After that, we want to go and then take our stone blocks. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3 stone blocks and then our polished andesite block. We then want to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 andesite walls back along the side here, and same thing over here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just like that. After that's all done, that right there will pretty much complete what we have there for that layer. Just trying to make sure we're not missing anything and everything does appear to be good to go. So with that is going to conclude layer number 5 for the build. And with that, we're probably going to move into our final layers, which will consist of layers 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So with that, let's go ahead and move into layers 6 through 13. Moving into our next layers, we have layers 6 through 13. For these layers to begin with, we're going to place down a stone brick slab here, an item frame coming off that, and the black bed in the item frame rotated sideways. We then want to place down a skeleton skull to the sides here of that stone brick slab, and then back from there, we're going to place down a birchwood fence gate and open it up toward that stone brick slab like so. We also want to place down a stone brick stair here, and then another birchwood fence gate open backwards, and then a skeleton skull on top of these end rods like that. Once we have that done, we're going to place down another birchwood fence gate here, open it toward the back, a stone block, and then to the sides here of that stone block, we're going to place down a light gray stainless pane to both sides. Now, on top of those, or basically at this point, we're going to go ahead and just kind of build this whole section up here. So we're going to place down an iron trap door on top of this fence gate here. We're going to go and grab an item frame, as well as a snowball. We're going to place down an item frame on the side of that trapdoor and a snowball in it. And we also want to place down a birchwood sign on the side here of this slab like so. After that's all done, going ahead and continue on. We're going to go ahead and place down a birchwood fence gate on top of the stair, open it backwards, and another fence gate up on top of this one here, and this one will be opened up toward the back there. We're going to go then place down 2 birchwood fence gates on top of each other here, open them up toward each other. And we also want to go and grab ourselves an iron trapdoor and place it on the side here of these fence gates to both sides, as well as a wither skeleton skull on top of those trapdoors. After that, we want to go and then take our end rods. We're going to place down 1 and 2 to the side here, 1 and 2, like that. Continuing on, we're going to place down a stone top slab, coming off this fence gate here, a stone brick wall on top of that, and then an iron bar to both sides of this stone brick stair. Again, using our debug stick for Java players, we can go ahead and change the directions here of the iron bars so they connect up to the stair like that. We're going to go then place down 2 birchwood fence gates, again facing each other or basically connecting to, or open up toward each other like this, continuing our mass up. And we're going to go ahead and then place down our birchwood fence gate here, open it toward the back, a birchwood fence gate here, open it to the back as well. And this here is going to be a end rod on both sides of this fence gate. Then we're going to place down another fence gate on top of this one, open that toward the back as well, another end rod to both sides, and then going up from this fence gate, we're going to place down 2 end rods like that going up. We then want to take a skeleton skull, and we want to go ahead and place it down coming off this birchwood fence gate, so just like that there for the front. And that's going to do it for your front mast, and pretty much your only mast for the ship. After that though, we're going to go then place down a redstone repeater here on this stone block, separate the notches like so, and then a wither skeleton skull on top of those 2 glass panes. Going up from the wither skeleton skulls, we're going to place down an iron bar on both sides. Going back to this section here, we're going to place down a stone block here as well. Same thing we did for this funnel. We're going to place down a light gray stainless pane on both sides, a redstone repeater, separate the notches, and we want to go then place down our wither skeleton skulls on top of those glass panes, and then an iron bar going up from those skulls. We then want to place down a gray carpet on top of that block there, and we're going to then place down a skeleton skull, which will actually be coming off the top here of this item frame. So we're going to place down a skeleton skull right there actually. Then, yeah, that should be on the left side and the left side only, so that's just something we're going to throw on. We're going to then place down a stone block on top of this one here. Same thing for a redstone repeater, like this going up. And we then want to go ahead and grab a andesite wall, place it to the left side. On top of that wall, we're going to place down an iron trapdoor. In that iron trapdoor, we're going to grab a item frame and a snowball. We're going to place down our item frame like this facing the back, and our snowball like that. On the other side here, we're going to go and grab a skeleton skull, and we just want to place down a skeleton skull on this andesite wall. We're going to go then place down 2 gray carpet back, and then a daylight detector, turn that to night mode. Lastly, we're going to place down a direct wall right here. And again, if we're on Java, we're going to skip a space, place down a block from the wall like so. We're going to then place down a tripwire hook and use our debug stick here. We're going to go and rotate the tripwire hook to connect up to that direct wall. So just like that. And once we have that all complete there, that's going to pretty much wrap up our design here for the S Yūdachi Murasame-Class destroyer. Well, if you guys do enjoy this tutorial and are able to put good use if you do use this build, I do say you guys give me proper credit for it. This be anything from a style of build, tweak to my channel, or this video if this does appear in social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for your free for projects you guys are working on, overall enjoy the build, have fun with it, all that fun stuff. Again, the big first links to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. And as always, feel free to check my Patreon page, link is always in my video descriptions. With that though, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been your 2x4, and I'll see you guys next time.